Eleanor is 74 years old, a retired schoolteacher from Grand Rapids, Michigan, and for 11 straight weeks she woke up at almost exactly 4 in the morning with a mouth so dry she could not swallow. Not thirsty, dry. Her tongue stuck to the roof of her mouth, her lips cracked at the corners. She kept a glass of water on the nightstand, and by December she was refilling it twice a night. She blamed her age. She blamed the furnace running all winter. She was wrong about both. The cause was sitting on the second shelf of her medicine cabinet, a small blue and white pill she had taken every single night for 3 years. A pill sold without a prescription in nearly every grocery store and pharmacy in America. In the next 25 minutes, I am going to give you the names of the 5 medications most often behind 4 in the morning dry mouth, including that one over-the-counter pill. I am going to give you a 2-minute label check you can do tonight. One specific word to look for. I am going to explain why the dryness arrives at 4 in the morning and not at 10 at night, because the timing is not random, and once you understand it, you will never dismiss it again. And I am going to give you the exact questions to bring to your pharmacist, for free, without an appointment. One more thing before we start. There is a detail about Eleanor's pill that even her own pharmacist missed. A detail about what happens to that pill inside a 74-year-old body after midnight. I will come back to it, because that missed detail is the reason her dry mouth turned into a $2,800 dental bill and a fog she almost mistook for something far worse. Here is exactly what I am going to walk you through today. Number 1, the 5 categories of medication most often connected to waking at 4 in the morning with a dry mouth, with specific drug names for each, including one that sits on grocery store shelves next to the aspirin. Number 2, the 2-minute medicine cabinet check you can do tonight, looking for a single word on the active ingredients panel that changes everything. Number 3, the timing conversation. Why, when you take certain pills, can matter as much as which pills you take, and exactly what to ask your doctor about it. Number 4, the 3 questions to ask your pharmacist this week. Questions that cost nothing and can get your entire medication list scored for this exact risk. And number 5, the 4 warning signs that mean your dry mouth has moved past annoying and into dangerous. The signs that mean you call your doctor's office this week, not at your next annual visit. A quick word on who is talking to you. I make this channel because the average doctor's appointment for someone over 65 now runs about 15 minutes. And 15 minutes is not enough time to explain how medications behave differently in an aging body. Everything I share here comes from published research and named sources: the American Geriatric Society, peer-reviewed journals, and I will name them as we go. I am not your doctor. This video is education, not medical advice, and nothing here should replace a conversation with your own physician or pharmacist. Before we go further, do something for me. Drop your age in the comments and tell me whether you have ever woken up in the night with a bone-dry mouth. I read those comments, and they decide what I cover next. Now Eleanor. Her husband Walter passed in the spring of 2021, and her sleep broke that same year. She would lie awake until 1, sometimes 2 in the morning. Her neighbor suggested a nighttime pain reliever, the kind with the letters PM on the box, because it helped the neighbor's arthritis and put her to sleep besides. Eleanor tried it. It worked the first night, so she took it the second night, and the third, and by that Christmas, It was as much a part of her evening as locking the front door. 1 pill, sometimes 2, around 9:30. 3 years of that. The dry mouth crept in slowly enough that she never connected it to anything. First, it was a glass of water on the nightstand. Then it was waking at 4 in the morning with her tongue stuck to her palate, working her jaw just to get enough moisture to swallow. Then came the things she did not connect at all. Constipation that her doctor treated with a fiber supplement, an afternoon fog, a heaviness behind the eyes that she chalked up to being 74. And then, in October of last year, her dentist found 2 cracked molars and the beginning of decay along the gum line of 4 more teeth in a woman who had needed exactly 1 filling in the previous 20 years. The repair estimate came to $2,800. It was the dentist, not the doctor, who asked the right question. He looked at her chart, looked at her gums, and asked what she took to fall asleep. Eleanor told him. He put down his instruments and explained that saliva is not just moisture. Saliva is the mouth's entire defense system. It neutralizes acid, it washes away bacteria, it carries the minerals that constantly repair tooth enamel. Take the saliva away for 6 to 8 hours a night, every night, for 3 years, and teeth that survive 7 decades can crumble in 1. Her nightly pill, he told her, was almost certainly the reason her mouth had gone dry, and the dry mouth was almost certainly the reason her teeth were failing. Eleanor is not unusual. A University of Michigan national poll on healthy aging found that roughly 1 in 3 adults over 65 take something to help them sleep. And among the most common choices are over-the-counter sleep aids, exactly like Eleanor's. Most of the people taking them have no idea what the active ingredient actually is, or what it does to a body over 60 in the small hours of the morning. If you take anything at night to sleep, or if you take blood pressure pills, bladder pills, or nerve pain pills in the evening, Eleanor's story is not a story about a woman in Michigan. It is a preview. And here is what nobody told her. The sleep ingredient in nearly every PM product on the shelf, the pain reliever PM boxes, the nighttime cold formulas, the standalone sleep aids, is a drug called diphenhydramine. It is the same molecule sold as Benadryl. It is a first-generation antihistamine developed in the 1940s, and it makes you drowsy because it crosses into the brain and blocks a chemical messenger called acetylcholine. Drugs that do this are called anticholinergics, and that word, anticholinergic, is the key to this entire video. Here is why that matters for your mouth. Your salivary glands run on acetylcholine. That is the signal that tells them to produce saliva. Block the signal and the glands go quiet. So a pill taken for sleep, or for allergies, or for an overactive bladder can shut down saliva production as a side effect, the same way closing a valve shuts down a faucet. Now why 4 in the morning? 2 curves cross in the middle of the night. The first curve is your natural saliva rhythm. Saliva production drops to nearly its lowest point of the entire 24-hour day while you sleep. That is normal at any age. The second curve is the drug level in your blood. Take a diphenhydramine pill at 9:30 and it peaks around 2 hours later, then slowly declines as your liver and kidneys clear it. In a healthy 30-year-old, the drug's half-life, the time it takes the body to clear half of it, runs somewhere around 6 to 9 hours. But here is the detail Eleanor's pharmacist missed, the one I promised you at the top. In older adults, clearance slows down. Published studies suggest the half-life of diphenhydramine can stretch to 13 hours or more in people over 65. So at 4 in the morning, when a younger body would have cleared most of the dose, a 74-year-old body may still be carrying a heavy concentration of it, right at the exact hour when natural saliva is already at its nadir. A drug still near full strength, meeting a mouth already at its driest hour. That is why you wake at 4 with your tongue stuck to the roof of your mouth. The timing is not a coincidence. The timing is the pharmacology, and the mouth is only the part you can feel. Acetylcholine does not just run your salivary glands, it runs your gut, which is why Eleanor was constipated. It runs your bladder's coordination, and it runs memory circuits in your brain, which is why she had that afternoon fog. This is why the American Geriatric Society, in its Beers criteria, the standard reference list of medications considered potentially inappropriate for adults 65 and older, specifically flags diphenhydramine for routine use in older adults. And it is why a 2015 study in JAMA Internal Medicine, which followed more than 3,000 adults 65 and older for years, found that people with the highest cumulative use of anticholinergic drugs had a significantly higher rate of developing dementia. Now, be careful with that finding. It shows an association, not proof that the drugs cause dementia. But it is one of the reasons geriatric specialists take this drug class so seriously. And it is the reason a dry mouth at 4 in the morning deserves more respect than a bigger glass of water. Eleanor's body was clearing that pill at perhaps half the speed the label testing assumed. Her dry mouth was not a quirk. It was a gauge, showing her exactly how much of that drug was still circulating while she slept. Diphenhydramine is the most common culprit, but it is far from the only one. So let me show you 3 more people, because the pill behind your 4 in the morning wake-up may not be in a PM box at all. Robert is 68, a retired electrician outside Fort Worth, Texas. Robert takes oxybutynin, a prescription medication for overactive bladder, and he takes it with dinner. Oxybutynin is one of the strongest anticholinergics in common use, and for Robert, it created a loop that took his doctor months to untangle. The pill dried his mouth so badly overnight that he started sipping water constantly, on the nightstand, in the bathroom, at 2 in the morning, at 4. All that water meant more trips to the toilet. More nighttime urination looked like his bladder problem getting worse, so at his next visit, his dose was increased. The higher dose dried his mouth further. He drank more, he urinated more, and around the circle went. Nobody in that exam room connected the dry mouth to the water to the bathroom trips until a pharmacist doing a routine refill asked him one question: whether his mouth was dry at night. Robert's case is the prescription version of Eleanor's problem, and it shows something important. Sometimes the medication treating a symptom is quietly manufacturing the very evidence used to justify raising its own dose. Joyce is 81, a widow in Scranton, Pennsylvania, and her story is the one that frightens families most. Joyce had taken a low dose of amitriptyline for nerve pain for 12 years. Amitriptyline is an older antidepressant used at low doses for pain, and it carries a heavy anticholinergic load. Last year, Alongside her worsening dry mouth, Joyce started repeating questions. She missed a grandson's birthday she had never once missed. Her daughters sat in a parking lot after a visit and talked about memory care facilities. It was a geriatric specialist, brought in for a full evaluation, who reviewed her medication list first, added up her total anticholinergic exposure, and suggested, before any dementia diagnosis, a slow, supervised taper of the amitriptyline with a different approach to her nerve pain. Within about 8 weeks, her daughters say, the repeating faded and the sharpness came back. Now, I want to be very careful here. Not every fog is a medication. Most memory decline is not this reversible, and nobody should ever stop amitriptyline abruptly, because sudden withdrawal carries its own real risks. But published reviews in geriatric medicine document cases like Joyce's often enough that the standard of care is now to review anticholinergic burden before concluding that confusion in an older adult is dementia. In her case, the 4 in the morning dry mouth had been the earliest visible marker, years before anyone was frightened. Frank is 70, retired from the state of California, living in Sacramento. And Frank is the case that surprises people. Frank checked every label in his house for anticholinergics and found nothing. No PM pills, no bladder medication, no amitriptyline. Yet he woke at 4 in the morning, mouth dry, and needing the bathroom besides. Frank's pill was hydrochlorothiazide, a very common, very useful blood pressure medication, a diuretic, a water pill. The medication was appropriate. The timing was the problem. Frank took it with dinner because that was when he took everything. A diuretic taken in the evening does its work overnight, pulling fluid through the kidneys while you sleep, which for many people means waking to urinate and waking mildly dehydrated, with a dry mouth to prove it. When Frank asked his doctor about it, the fix was almost embarrassingly simple. He was told to take it with breakfast instead. Same pill, same dose, moved 12 hours. Within a week, the 4 in the morning wake-ups largely stopped. Frank matters because he proves the point of this whole video. Sometimes the answer is stopping a pill you never needed. Sometimes it is replacing one. And sometimes it is nothing more than moving one from dinner to breakfast. But you cannot know which until you look. So let us look. Here is exactly what to do, in order, starting tonight. Number 1. Tonight, do the 2-minute cabinet check. Gather every pill, box, and bottle of anything you take within about 4 hours of bedtime, prescription and over-the-counter both. Turn each over-the-counter box to the panel marked Active Ingredients and look for one word, diphenhydramine. That is the word. While you are there, also look for doxylamine, its close cousin, which appears in some nighttime formulas. Do not go by the front of the box, because the front will say nighttime, or PM, or sleep aid in friendly letters, and never once say antihistamine. The active ingredients panel does not get to advertise. It has to tell you. If you find either word on something you take regularly, do not throw it out and do not simply stop, especially if you have taken it nightly for a long time. Just write down the product name, the ingredient, and how often you take it. That piece of paper is the foundation for everything else on this list. Number 2, write down the 5 categories, because the culprit is not always in a PM box. Category 1, first-generation antihistamines, diphenhydramine, doxylamine, and chlorpheniramine, found in sleep aids, allergy pills, and nighttime cold medicines. Category 2. Overactive bladder medications. Oxybutynin and tolterodine are the common names. Category 3. Tricyclic antidepressants, especially amitriptyline and nortriptyline, often prescribed at low doses for nerve pain or sleep, sometimes so long ago that nobody remembers to question them. Category 4. The muscle relaxant cyclobenzaprine, commonly given after back injuries and frequently continued far longer than intended. Category 5. Diuretics like hydrochlorothiazide and furosemide when they are taken in the evening. Frank's category, where the issue is fluid loss and timing rather than acetylcholine. Compare these 5 categories against the paper you made in Step 1 and against your prescription list. If anything matches, circle it. Circling it does not mean it is wrong for you. Plenty of people take these medications for good reasons. Circling it means it has earned a conversation. Number 3. Take that paper to your pharmacist this week and ask 3 questions. This costs nothing, requires no appointment, and pharmacists are the single most underused resource in American healthcare. Question 1. Which of my medications are anticholinergic? Question 2. What is my total anticholinergic burden when you add them all together? Because these effects stack, and 2 mild drugs can add up to 1 strong problem. Question 3. Are any of my medications flagged on the Beers criteria for someone my age? Your pharmacist knows exactly what that list is, can check your entire profile against it in minutes, and can print a summary you can hand directly to your doctor. If the pharmacy counter is busy, ask when a quiet time would be. Most pharmacists will gladly take 10 minutes for this, because this is precisely the work they trained for. Number 4. Have the timing and alternatives conversation with your doctor. And let me say this as plainly as I can. Do not stop or change any prescription on your own. Not the bladder pill, not the amitriptyline, not the blood pressure pill. Some of these medications are dangerous to stop abruptly, and all of them were prescribed for a reason that deserves respect. What you bring to your doctor is questions, 3 of them. First, could any of my evening medications be moved to the morning? The Frank question, which for diuretics is often a simple yes. Second, if I am using diphenhydramine for sleep, what should I use instead? For many people, the honest answer is not another pill at all. The American College of Physicians recommends cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia, often shortened to CBT for insomnia, as the first-line treatment for chronic sleep problems in adults, and it outperforms sleep medications in long-term studies. Third, if I am on a strong anticholinergic, like oxybutynin, is there an alternative in a different drug class that would work for me? Alternatives exist for many of these medications, but which one fits you depends on your kidneys, your heart, your blood pressure, and your full list. Which is exactly why this is your doctor's call and not a YouTube videos. Number 5. Know the 4 warning signs that mean you call the doctor's office this week rather than waiting for your annual visit. Sign 1. Dry mouth arriving alongside new confusion, new forgetfulness, or unusual daytime drowsiness, the Joyce pattern. Because in an older adult, that combination should always trigger a medication review. Before any other conclusion. Sign 2. Trouble swallowing, food catching, or choking on dry foods, because a mouth without saliva raises real choking and nutrition risks. Sign 3. Rapid dental damage, new decay, cracked teeth, or recurring mouth sores and infections such as thrush, the Eleanor pattern, and tell both your dentist and your doctor. Sign 4. Dizziness or lightheadedness when you stand, together with dark or scanty urine, which can signal dehydration. The Frank pattern taken one step further, and in someone over 70, dehydration escalates quickly. None of these 4 is a wait-and-see symptom. All 4 are pick-up-the-phone symptoms. Before we close, there is one more move, and almost nobody outside geriatric medicine uses it. If you are on Medicare with a Part D drug plan and you take multiple medications for multiple chronic conditions, you may already be entitled to a free, comprehensive medication review every single year through a program called Medication Therapy Management. A pharmacist goes through every prescription, every over-the-counter product, every supplement, checks the combinations, the timings, and the age appropriateness of each one, and sends a written action plan to you and your doctor. Most people who qualify have never heard of it, and studies of these reviews consistently find issues worth fixing in a large share of older adults taking 5 or more medications. Call the number on the back of your drug plan card and ask whether you qualify for a Medication Therapy Management Comprehensive Medication Review. While you are at it, whether through that program or your own pharmacist, ask for your anticholinergic burden score. There are published scales that assign each drug a number and add them up, and research has associated higher total scores with greater risk of confusion and falls in older adults. If you take only 1 or 2 medications, this full review is probably more than you need, and the label check and the 3 pharmacist questions will serve you fine. But if your pill organizer has more than a few compartments filled, this one phone call may be the highest value 10 minutes of your year. So if you take nothing else from the last 25 minutes, take this. Waking at 4 in the morning with a dry mouth is not just a nuisance, and it is not just age. It can be a gauge, showing you in real time how much of a medication is still circulating in your body at the hour it was supposed to be gone. For Eleanor, it was a nightly sleep aid that cost her 2 teeth before anyone asked the right question. For Robert, it was a bladder pill feeding its own dose increases. For Joyce, it was a fog her family nearly mistook for dementia. For Frank, it was nothing more than a good pill taken at the wrong end of the day. 1 in 3 adults over 65 take something for sleep, and most have never once read the active ingredients panel. Tonight, you can. 2 minutes, 1 word, diphenhydramine, and then 3 free questions at the pharmacy counter this week. That is the whole assignment. Your body has been sending you a message at 4 in the morning. Now you know how to read it, and more importantly, you know it is fixable. Usually with a conversation, not a crisis. If this video gave you something your last 15-minute appointment did not, hit the like button, because it genuinely helps this reach the next person waking up at 4 in the morning, wondering why. And if someone you love, a parent, a spouse, a neighbor, keeps a PM bottle on their nightstand, send them this video before tonight's dose. Subscribe to Vital Years so you never miss what we cover next, and I will see you in the next one. Sleep well and check that label.